The Consumer Protection Office of the Free State Department of Economic, Small Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs DESTEA and other stakeholders closed all illegally operated tech shops operating without municipal permits. We understand that expired, fake and illicit goods were also confiscated and undocumented foreign nationals were taken by Immigration Services of the Department of Home Affairs. Let us now take the discussion further with the MEC of Free State, the Department of Economic, Small Business Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs DESTEA Makalo Mohale, who joins me now live via Zoom. A very good afternoon to you, MEC. Thank you so much for joining us here on the SABC News channel.
Good afternoon, your viewers and your viewers.
All right, so tell us what actually prompted your department to get into this operation. Was this a surprise, a blitz operation?
No, not at all. You would remember that in my speech, I have committed to the Free Staters that we are going to ensure that the economic playing field is level and that only those that are allowed to conduct business in the province or in the country are allowed to do so. So it was part of the program that I've promised our people or Free Staters that we would engage upon. It was scheduled and it is going to continue for as long as the department exists. We have started in Mangaung and we will be moving to the other parts of the state province in other municipalities.
But then, MEC, what sense did you get from this particular operation that I know you were part of? Could there be more shops that are operating in this manner in the province? And as you said, you will be, of course, conducting more operations of this nature. But what sense did you get from the ground?
Yeah, what we have realized is that our economic space, especially the one that we call the township economy, it has been hijacked by those that are engaged in the illegal activities. And that makes it very difficult or impossible for our people to claim the economic space, which has always been in their hands in the past decade. The sense that we are getting is that it's very easy for someone to just come into our township. And unfortunately, our communities are having a hand in that because they are not making any efforts to report these illegal activities. People just come from wherever they come, undocumented, just approach our residents who give them their backyards to erect illegal structures, conduct a tuck shop, no permits. Some of them, they even go to an extent of even stealing the electricity, stealing water, because if you look at the wiring that we have discovered there, it was horrible and endangering the lives of our people. And they also sell very hazardous products, such as even those medications which are not even allowed into the country. So the biggest problem is that there is a major risk on our township economy, because you'd remember that for the previous decades, this has always been the only type of economy that our people used to make life out of. But unfortunately, it has been taken. But the most concerning part is that it is not taken in a proper manner. It is taken illegally, because these other guys that we have found to be practicing these activities, they are not paying tax, they are not registered, they are not even banking. So the possibility of many illicit money flows is very high.
But I think also what is even more concerning and worrying is the fact that the Free Staters' lives are at risk here, because we understand that you've also discovered 2 backroom factories where it was found that cold drinks were being manufactured there and they were labeled as Coca-Cola and other unbranded goods. So this is very worrying that people's lives are at risk here.
It's very worrying, especially for our consumers, Mepalesa, because people who are manufacturing very serious products. They're having even some chemicals which you would not ordinarily find anywhere. So it means our people there in the township are consuming dangerous goods which are pretends to be goods of a particular brand, whereas they are not. Because someone was manufacturing Coca-Cola at the back of that particular yard. Some of the products, they even do it themselves. And one of the worrying factors is that they are now able to tamper with the expiry dates of some of the of the product. So you would think that the product is still valid, it's still having a year or two of a shelf life. Just to realize that it is not a true reflection. They have tampered with it. They have the machines. Thus they reprint all of those fake expiry goods. So we are saying in the best interest of the lives of our people and their health, we will continue to clamp down on all of this to ensure that gone will be the days where in the Free State, anyone can just come and conduct any illegal activities and endanger the health and the lives of our Free Staters. So we have started. We'll make sure that the health of our consumers is very paramount and it will be protected as such. And the economic space, most importantly, the playing ground is level. So you don't have the South Africans that pay a lot of money for compliance, whereas there are other nationals who come illegally in the country, take that economy and don't even spend a cent on compliance because they use that competitive edge of not compliance or of having very low overheads to be competitive in terms of prices and ultimately take out other law-abiding citizens who are conducting their businesses lawfully out of the market.
All right. So you say that the residents of Free State are equally guilty to what is happening now, but others on the other hand could argue, MEC, to say that this is happening because the departments such as yours should be helping locals to start up their own businesses or shops. So let's talk about what and how much has your department done in this regard to ensure that you take the economy back to the hands of the locals.
Yes, indeed. We have had a twofold approach as a department. You are correct, Mepalesa, that there is a duty on our side as a department. And I can indicate to you, Mepalesa, that sometime in June, we have invited the small businesses or tuck shops in particular to come forward so that they can be assisted. And to date, we have received more than 509 applications that have came forth. But most importantly, we have also worked with some organized businesses. One of them I can state is NAFCOP, where we work in partnership to establish the distribution channels, where they will be able to buy in bulk, and all of the tuck shops that are affiliated to them in the township, they could be able to be affiliated to that distribution channel so that they can take advantage of economies of scale, just like all these other nationals are doing in the country. So as a department, we have invested more than 5 million for a start now to ensure that we boost the bulk buying and the establishment of the distribution channels for tuck shops. But we are not only ending there. We are also providing a legal and advisory support to the municipalities to ensure that their bylaws are tightened enough to ensure that all of these unfortunate situations that we are encountering are being able to be restricted at the level of the bylaws. I can take Mangaung for an example. It has taken us more than 3 to 4 months before we start with this operation because one of the issues that we have to do was to ensure that everyone receives a fair opportunity to apply for a permit. So through the assistance that we have rendered to the municipality, we were able to only issue the permits to those that are eligible who are lawful in the country because most of the time, our communities, when we act on all of these unfortunate situations, they tend to use the tag of xenophobia and pretend as if we are being xenophobic when we do this thing. And I must indicate, Mepalesa, that this operation is not targeted at any nationals. We are only targeted at those that are not compliant. It's unfortunate that all of the people that we have found to be in compliance are the foreign nationals. But unfortunately, we cannot stop the law on the basis that we will feel sentimental or become emotional because they are foreign nationals.
Okay.
So we're doing such, we're rendering such assistance, both in terms of the legal assistance to ensure that the legal framework is up to scratch. At the same time, we have invested a lot of money. Like I say now, we have more than 5 million that we have spent to the top in order to buy the stock and also support them on other issues relating to their operation.
All right, MEC, we've run out of time, but I just want to talk about COVID-19. I mean, the reality is that everyone has been affected by COVID-19 and many businesses, of course, have suffered the most. Some even had to close down as a result. What relief packages does your department have to ensure the survival of these businesses now and, of course, beyond the pandemic?
Mapalesa, we as a department, sometime in June, we have offered 4 categories of the relief packages as a department of the Free State. The one which was meant for the big businesses called the risk sharing, and the one called enterprise support, and the one targeted specifically for informal businesses, as well as the one that we have designed for spazas and general dealers. So we have run a very transparent processes which has since closed in July. We are now busy disbursing to those that have been qualified. And I can tell you that thus far, a total amount of 16 million has been disbursed. And during the course of this week, an additional amount of 30 million will be disbursed to those businesses that are so qualifying. And I must indicate that after the budget adjustment, we will still open another window for the applications this year for those that could not make it. We are doing this so that the process is very fair and it can reach those that are intended, because it's not an open-ended process. There are certain sectors which are very key in the economy, which we are targeting, such as manufacturing, the petrochemicals, pharmaceuticals, the clothing and textile, and the e-commerce.
Right.
So those are the sectors that we said there will be a priority sectors for us to drive the economy, because our understanding is that if we continue with the industrialization or manufacturing economic sectors, that will assist with the job creation. So we have made those products available. Free Staters have applied, some have received, and some are continuously receiving some. And they are very much appreciated because we have saved number of businesses, and new businesses were also established out of this intervention.
Okay. All
Our
right.
aim is
I think we get the gist of the packages that you have for the businesses in the province. The time constraints, we have to leave it at this, but we thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you very much.
Makalo Mohale is the MEC for DESTEA. That's the Department of Small Business Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs in the Free State.